All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our weekly podcast. And for those of you who are tuning in on the web, thanks for being here. And beside me, we have our comics this week: Murv Seymour and Dale Jones. Over here, sleeping naked, our musical guests that have been here.
Dale, pick up your microphone.
I don't know what's happened.
I'm sorry. My brains are shooting out my...
Relax.
Thank you. That's what I need.
Ah, very nice.
Sip
That's
it slowly.
exactly what I need. First of all, and audience members, we're at a point I will allow you to ask some questions if you would like. But let's start off with where did you guys grow up, Murv?
I grew up in Holly Springs, Mississippi, and then I moved to Madison, Wisconsin when I was about 10 years old.
Were you made to do that?
Yeah, wherever the mama goes, that's where I go, because she feeds me.
Okay. And Dale?
Manhattan.
Manhattan.
No. I just thought being a hick ass if I said.
Oh, okay.
No, Southern Illinois, a little town.
Wow.
You're shitting me.
You have a fan base from
Apparently-
Southern. What's the name of the town?
They moved their crystal meth thing down here. I was born in DuQuoin, Illinois, and then moved to Salem, Illinois, and I was there till like '88.
And now, Murv, a little bit about your family.
I got a mom. I got a brother.
Mom and brother.
Daddy was no place.
Okay. And Dale?
Did
Did you have a family?
Both. I had a mom and a dad, and yeah. And a sister.
And you still turned out like
I'm
this.
still
That's
trying to
fine.
come down and be actually fucking normal.
I know. It takes a while.
It takes me a while to...
Now, with either one of you, were your families in any way a part of you becoming entertainers? Murv?
Not really. I mean, most of my family is they're all teachers and musicians. So from that standpoint, maybe. But as far as the humor thing, nobody in my family did comedy or anything like that.
But musicians, who was a musician?
Everybody. My great uncle is Chuck Berry. That's my mom's uncle.
It's Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
That's right. I had forgotten that.
Yeah.
So have you met your Uncle
I've
Chuck?
met Chuck a few times. I've stayed at his house, and yeah, I've been there a bunch of times.
And how, what influence did he have on you when you were younger?
None. I mean, Les, you think I'd still be at McCurdy's if Chuck Berry had an influence on me?
Oh, and what about yourself, Dale? Anybody in your family lead you down this path?
I mean, I played with my ding-a-ling a few times.
Sure you
Nice!
did. I'm sure you did.
Dad was in the printing business, and Mom was with the government, working with the government and stuff, and then she quit to have babies. And then, but they were both goofball. Mom was the smart ass, and Dad was the goofball, and I kind of got put together. Plus, then we moved to Salem. We had 10 acres of land, and they just let me run. And that's the honest to God truth. It's fenced in. Just when it gets dark, he'll be back. And so I would honestly watch. I was a 4-channel kid because we didn't have cable or nothing. So I would watch Abbott and Costello or something, and then I would go out in the yard and act out the whole damn movie.
Really?
Because my sister was 5 years older than me and didn't want a lot to do.
So when you were a kid, you thought about being some kind of comedic performer?
No, I knew. I got picked on a lot as a kid.
No way.
A lot. Yes. On Ice Cream Social Day, everybody was done with their ice cream, and then Dale went in the bucket head first. And then some of the assholes would count the sticks stuck to my forehead. That's true. Sorry, not funny.
So you were the teased kid.
So then I had a friend named Russell, and I was on the bus, and Russell said, hey, if you're funny, nobody's going to pick on you because, So then I learned to be funny as a defense mechanism, and then anytime I was making fun of me, nobody else put my underwear on my head.
And that's a comment. Now, Murv, you're a big guy.
Yeah, I didn't have that problem.
No.
But I was always saying stupid stuff in class and things like that. So as I got older, everybody told me I should try comedy and stuff like that. So.
And speaking of class, did you go to college?
I did go to college. I went to Alabama A&M, tried to play basketball there briefly, didn't work out. And then I transferred to Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's a predominantly black college there.
And your degree?
Broadcast journalism.
Which you ended up in for a while before you got into comedy, correct?
Yep. I spent about 20 years in TV. Worked in Sacramento and Tampa, Milwaukee, Shreveport. Couldn't keep a job.
And then Dale, you college? I mean, did you ever go over there and just fuck with people?
I mowed. No, here's what I did. I went, get out of here. You see the way you walked out here? Oh, shit. So, for those of you watching at home, some dude just went pissed.
Yeah.
I went to ITT, but I went because everybody else left town. So I thought, well, hell, I'm supposed to go to college. So I took drafting, and my mom goes, "You've never drawn shit. Why are you going to draft?" And I was like, "I'm supposed to go." So the first day, they hold up this little doohickey or whatever it is, and they go, "Draw this inside and out," and they put it in the box. And that's the day I knew I was fucked. And I had a roommate that was a genius. His name was Adrian, and he drew everything. So thank God the paper was thin, because I'd lay mine down and I traced the shit out of his stuff. I did that for 6 months. I traced everything he did, and I go, Dale Jones going to be a hell of an engineer. And I thought, as long as my roommate Adrian's my partner, I'm going to build a brick someday. And then I got my head together, and I was like, this is ridiculous. So I went and told my parents what I did, and I told them I was going to get a job and pay for everything. And then I got a job at a lumber yard, and yeah, went from there.
And now, from the lumber yard, what jobs did you have before comedy? Lumber yard?
First, I worked in a video store.
Yeah.
And I was installing refrigerators and appliances in people's houses, too.
Yep.
Which that scared people when I crawled under their house.
Yep.
It was awesome. I was 16, usually drunk. And we're going under the house. How you know when the drill's coming through? It hit my skull. Did that. And I worked at the lumber yard, and I got busted for drinking, and they shipped me off to Orlando to live with my uncle, and I painted vending machines, and I got to go underneath Disney and put vending machines and all this shit. And Under Space Mountain's cool as shit if you've never been under. And then from there, but I found out the paint fumes were dangerous, and I didn't wear any of the shit. That's true.
I can believe it.
And then Dad lost his job, and we went to Nashville, and I drove a forklift and made brakes for diesel trucks.
I know.
And I was on an assembly line, and then I got dared to do stand-up because I was acting like an idiot all the time. And then...
Is that at Zany's?
Yes. Zany's in Nashville.
Yeah, it was a great club.
It's a home club. I love that room. And I started there in 93, and after that, that's when I got focused. And they're like, shit, he's not partying anymore, and he's not going out, and he's not hanging. And it wasn't important to me anymore. I found a whole focus, and then when I would talk to myself and stuff, then I had a reason.
You had a reason. And, you know, and that is that point where, for all of us, when you stumble onto your gift. And when you do, all of a sudden, life takes on meaning that it doesn't have before that. And now, when did you first get into stand-up?
Well, I started writing jokes right in high school and stuff. I just put them in a book, and I always wanted to do it, but I had to go to college and all that stuff. So I didn't get on stage until 2000 for the first time. So it's that's 18 years after I had been out of high school. So
you were in broadcast at that point.
I had a career in broadcasting, so I never really had time, and it didn't really go well with the job. They didn't like the idea of a funny guy giving you the news. So
now, both of you, when you first got into comedy, it's like when you get into this, it's starting your own small business. It really is. Did you have a business plan?
Absolutely not.
Dale, any plan at all? I didn't have a plan at first.
I told people I wasn't going to make money for 10 years, which made my mother very unhappy because I was living at home.
But you made money within what, 5 years?
I was full-time within a year and a half to 2.
And then by 5 years, you could support yourself?
Sure.
How many years now have you been doing it?
Here, 19.
19. 19.
Here was the deal at my house. Mom said, you can keep your shit here as long as you're going on the road. And that was the deal. That's the deal my mom made. She goes, I support you completely. And my parents never once went, oh, well, he shouldn't do that. They was like, Jesus, that's it. And they were constantly like, as long as you're working and you're out on the road and you're striving and going towards your dream, you can keep your stuff here, and you just pay for your car and your insurance, and we will give you a place to crash on your days off. But if you're here more than 2 weeks, you're getting a job.
There you go.
And that was the deal. So I worked my first year on the road. I did every damn week. I was out Thanksgiving. I almost slit my throat Thanksgiving sitting in a Holiday Inn in Aberdeen.
Several Thanksgivings.
Oh, it's a nightmare. And all they're playing 16 candles nonstop on television. You're stuck in a hotel, and every time you open the window, there's kids in the Holodome looking in. You're like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring it.
Absolutely. Well, you took every gig you could take in the beginning.
Of course.
Yeah, everything. We were on the road for 40 weeks a year, and that's just the way you did it.
Strip clubs, anything.
Anything. Your style, Dale. Now, Murv's, here we have two opposing, very different styles. They're not opposing, they're different. Murv seems to be very structured, seems to be someone who sits down and writes everything out and is very well planned. And Dale seems like he just walked outside, smoked a joint, came in, and all hell broke loose. Now, I don't know, and I know you didn't smoke a joint because
I don't do drugs.
I know you don't do drugs because that wouldn't be right.
Yeah, people ask me, go, what are you doing? Or what are you on? You can't do this. Shit, I've done coke. I would burn out way before the 40-minute mark.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be in the middle of a joke going,
Exactly.
Hey, can I have a bump?
Now,
that's true. And I'm thinking so fast. I got
go
so many
further.
lines. Yeah.
and you are you fairly structured, Murv, in what you're going to do when you come up?
I don't really sit down and write. I just I talk about what makes me laugh. If something funny happens, I take a mental note and I try to relive it. And that's about as simple as it is for me. I tend to stay topical because I'm a news guy in general. So I stay up with everything that's kind of going on. But I tend to just talk about myself and leave it at that.
And you are more structured, aren't you, Dale?
Yeah, definitely.
You know where you're going to put each.
Yeah, I have a set list, and I write down every one-liner that I have. I record every show, and if I do an ad lib, like with Penis Helmet, I'll go back tonight and listen to that show, and
I think he's talking about Emily.
And listen. Let's face it, I'm not getting laid. I'm not up here for the. So she's gonna go home and I can find her man and go, I've seen what's out there and I'm gonna nail you.
For those of you at home, this is Emily, sitting in the audience, who is having her bachelorette party, and she's 19 years old. And
19? My God, run!
19, Dale.
Holy shiznit!
19. So the guy that you watched tonight that you thought was the most structured was not, and the guy that you watched that you thought had no structure was totally structured. And
yeah, the idea is to make it look like it's off the top of your head. I learned that from Robin.
And you know something that we were talking about, you talking about Robin Williams?
Yes.
And we were talking about, Dale and I were talking in the backstage, when I got into one bit tonight from talking to somebody in the audience that led me into something. And Dale mentioned, have you ever done that? And I hadn't done the bit in a while. Has he ever done that? And as soon as you get into it, go, I hope I can remember the end of this. And has that ever happened to you guys, where you jump into something that you hadn't done in a while and go, oh, my God?
Oh, it happened to me in the first show. That little brain fart I had.
Yeah.
Somebody yelled something out at me, and I forgot it. Gone.
Went right out. And you've done that too?
Me?
Oh, forget it.
Yes. I'm sorry. No, we talked about that. I have, I come by this shit so honestly. It's like he's not fooling us. He's really in love. I have lines written in my head, so when I forget what I'm talking about, I say the other lines, and then my brain's going, what the hell's coming next? And then I do those other lines. Like tonight, I did a line, and I said, I don't know, I'm waiting for my brain to come around. Remember that? I said the train. I don't know if you remember, but I said I'm just waiting for my brain. My brain's like a train. I'm just waiting for it to come around, and I didn't know where the hell I was going at that point.
But you learn less. You learn that they don't know what you're supposed to say or when they're even supposed to laugh. So if you play it off well enough, nobody even notices.
Shit, I shouldn't have said that. Okay,
Yeah.
I was right on.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You remember one of the things we teach in our comedy classes is the audience does not know what you're going to do. They do not know. They do not know what you're supposed to do. So whenever you forget what you're supposed to do, just do whatever and don't look like you're freaking out. Because when you look like you're freaking out,
They know. They know. They can smell.
oh yeah, they can smell fear.
You have
Audience
a shit
can
day. Everybody's like,
Oh, audience can smell fear. They can see that vacant look in your eyes, and they will go, "Oh, this is bad news."
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah,
Give me shit.
picking at his
Him to
thing.
focus.
Yeah, that's it.
Focus, Dale.
Focus.
Next question.
I'm gonna skip this one question 'cause I don't care about it. Oh, I won't. I was gonna ask, why not L.A. or New York? You don't live in New York or L.A. I don't live there. Murv doesn't live there. We've made choices not to live there. That is corporate headquarters for our business at this point. Now, Murv and I have talked about it.
Yeah, it's a timing thing. You wanna hit LA or New York when you feel like you're ready, so you can go out there and make an impact. And then when you feel like you're ready, you need to have enough resources to be able to survive when you get out there. And I've been doing comedy 12 years, and somehow I've never had the match of all of it together. I've never had the resources at the same time that I've got the enthusiasm. So I just have never made it, you know.
What about you, Dale?
I'm going.
When are you going?
I'm gonna. Okay, last week I was always scared of California. California scared the shit out of me, and I've been to Manhattan, and I've been to Boston, and I've been everywhere else, but California seemed like, you know, the thing.
It is.
And it scared the hell out of me, and I didn't know if I was funny enough to go. And then last week I did a comedy festival in California, and I got like second. So out of the audience vote.
Right.
So I thought that was good.
Yes, it is.
So.
And I was just in Southern California, and I went to 3 of the top clubs out there while I was there, and I'm going to tell you, you're ready from what I saw.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
So and I got the management now.
You're very ready.
And I got so I told my manager I'm going to try to make a trip out there once a month, you know, and dedicate it and go and do my stuff and see if I can, something's got to happen.
And you are getting ready to marry on April the 3rd a stand-up comedian.
She's a woman.
A woman.
Fooled ya!
Her name is Jody White. She's a beautiful woman. She is from right here in this area. She came through our comedy class, and she's going to be headlining here in April.
She
Mary?
has poor vision.
Yes. But marrying another comedian, do you see a challenge there?
No, she pushes me to do stuff. Which we talked about that before. If you have a woman in your life, you're like, hey, you gonna quit watching the thing? You've watched it 12 times.
Right.
And get off your ass and go do something. But we have 2 totally different styles, and hers couldn't be more dirty. Mine's cleaner.
Provocative, I'd like to
Provocative,
call
is that the word?
Jody.
Nah,
Yes,
she's
provocative.
She plays the slut on stage, and I play the goofball. That's what it comes down to.
And do you think that could be a sitcom, The Slut and the Goofball?
Sure. I think that's a Nick at Night.
I think it
All we need is Betty White, and we got a trifecta. No, I think dating another comic's fine, and I don't work the road with her, and a lot of people would think that we would, but I want this separation, and I think that's healthy. I think it's like having a normal marriage. You go out, you're gone for your 8 to 9 hours, you come home, and I go, how was your day? Well, if you're together all the time, you don't have a how was your day. You got, get the hell out of my face. And then that way we can sit with our calendars and we pick out our times. And when I have a week off, I go with her. And I think it's going to work out good. And if it don't, I'm not buying a house.
Tell them where you're getting. Tell them where you're getting married at, buddy.
I'm getting married here.
On this stage.
I am.
April the 3rd.
April 3rd.
April 3rd, right here.
We met here.
I'm not marrying him. Not me. Not big.
Would be awesome. You could do a tight 40 up front.
I could.
A tight 40.
Sounds like your wife. She's a tight 40.
Yes, she is.
You better believe it. Any questions from the audience? Yes. And I'll repeat it so people at home can hear.
Yeah, I was wondering when you first began doing your performances, were you real nervous? Or, the stage fright?
Was there a lot of stage fright and nervousness wrapped around when first performance? Murv?
You mean like tonight?
No.
the
First, when you first got started.
Yeah, how'd you come over it?
It was for me. It was just a situation where my contract ended at my TV station, and I had always wanted to try it. And I had some friends that I worked with; they were going to go try it, and they just kind of pushed me to do it. And that really probably what got me to do it. But yeah, I was extremely nervous, and that nervousness is still here. It's not quite the same kind of intensity, but until you get your first laugh on stage, you're just going to be nervous. It's just what comes with doing this kind of stuff, because I don't know any of you people. And, we're walking into a room full of strangers, and I'm going to make them laugh. If you thought of it that way, it'll drive you nuts.
You see, I think that's the attitude you have to have. You might never see these people again, so, it doesn't matter what they think about you in the first place.
Well, you don't want to stand up here and not get laughs. I can tell you that. Were you nervous? Nervous
I was a basket case.
when you
It
first
was
started?
bad. I'd never performed. I'd never done theater. I'd never done anything. I just knew that I could make people laugh their ass off doing Bill Murray lines from Caddyshack and Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And that's why I wasn't a comic for a long time. It's like, I can't walk up there and quote Stripes. That's crazy, just do Bill Murray lines constantly. So, yeah, and I didn't know who I was. I didn't have his character when I started. This has been a progression. Messing with the mic, pulling on the hair, the way I stand. It's all been a process. When I first started out, I was trying to be the cool guy. I was like, hey, how you doing today? And it was just so fake, and I was scared to death. I didn't know how to write a joke. I was getting 3 minutes at Zany's. I got kicked off the open mic. I did. The manager goes, you can't come back. I go, it's Tuesday. This is on a Tuesday. I'm doing 3 minutes when everybody else is done. And he goes, you're not funny, Dale. It's not working. He goes, you can sit in the back of the room, watch every comic you want to watch from here to a turn. You come in as free as long as you want, but you're not going back on that stage till you prove yourself. And I started traveling to other clubs and kept my job as a forklift driver. I would drive 4 hours to Birmingham, do 5 minutes, drive all the way back, sleep in my car, go to work. I did that for 2 months. And finally, my buddies that were comics asked them if I could go back on stage. And then things started clicking. So, yeah, it's definitely a process.
And we all go through that. I think when as a performer, you're really putting yourself out there. And when you just have to have a passion for it and a belief that this is something you're supposed to do, and that and that somewhere down the line it's going to click for you, and that you just got to put your time in, and it's going to be nerve-wracking, and it is. And to this day, and we've all done this for over 20 years, and I can tell you right now, there's going to be a time when each of us will get in front of an audience that doesn't like us, and it'll be nerve-wracking again. But that's just part of the excitement of it. It's all subjective.
Some comics, that they're just faking this, character, personality. It's like, I wonder what he's really like,
And there you go. Yeah.
Boring.
Well, Dale, when we sit in the back, we talk like this, and he's not doing that.
No, I'd be in jail if I did that shit.
Just not.
Let's be honest.
what works
Nobody
for the
wants
audience.
to hang out with some guy that runs up and goes, hi.
No. You wouldn't be in jail, but you would be in lockdown.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many people have walked up to psychiatrists and hand me their card and said, I can help.
Exactly.
And I think of that as a compliment, because that means they really believe what the hell I've done a good job. That means they honestly think I'm that dude.
That's right.
But Les, when we talk backstage, he talks the same way, like he has the same sense of humor.
Yes, but
You know what I
not
mean?
the
But it is
crazy
amplified.
But it's not,
manic.
but it's not animated like
Not in the
yes.
back of the room.
Most performers are a super exaggeration of their normal personality, or at least in comedy. Any other questions? Yeah.
I think that's you, Dale.
That's you. You're in the middle.
Yes, sir.
unless you conclude those guys, and then I'm in the middle.
Yes, sir.
He did mention poontang. Yes, he did.
Thank you, Ted Nugent.
What? Yes. Where did poontang come from? It seems as if this audience member knows the origin of poontang, and he wants to know if you know the origin of poontang. And what frightens me is the man that stood up, I know his wife. So there. Do you know the origin of poontang?
That's a female raccoon.
No? This guy, what is it?
I don't. Are we playing fucking Jeopardy?
No? What's the origin of poontang?
I heard it on a Ted Nugent album when I was 16. Wang dang sweet poontang.
Let's back it up. I'll say 2 words. I hope we can get away with this.
You can get away with anything,
It's
sir.
on internet.
Pussy.
What?
G-O-O-K. Pussy.
Poontang? So it comes from a slang that was used during the Korean War or even back in the World War II for
Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Okay, so during
Buy a fucking church.
You're being heckled.
Thank
sir.
you. Oh, so so that's what it is. I'm Googling that. You better be right.
You didn't know that, did you,
I'm
buddy?
Googling that shit.
So were you offended by that? I'm
Oh,
being
no.
serious. Is that offensive then?
No. I was a little bit offended by the way you used it because I didn't think you had a clue as to where it came from and what it meant.
Wow. Okay. No, that's okay. That's
No.
okay.
No,
everybody
these are
has their thing on
absolutely.
it.
You know what? That term came to be probably before the day you were born.
I don't know. I just know it's for pussy, which I'm a big fan of. And
I've heard it all my life in the South.
yeah.
I will say this. Now I'm going to say this. The Vietnam War was not until it was in the mid '60s started, and I was 10 years old in '65. But I have heard poontang in the South as long as I can remember. Thank you. I say we all go down the street and get some poontang.
Honestly, I never do anything to and I'm sorry if I offended you. I'm sorry.
Oh,
about
no.
that. No, I didn't.
I don't
No,
think-
no.
you
The reason
think
I
you
say
did?
that
You think you did?
is because I work really hard not to offend. I'm not up here to do that horse shit. I'm not that kind of comic. I'm the kind of guy that I know you guys bust your ass working, and I've been there. I've been that bullshit job, and that's why I'm up here to let you forget that horse shit. That's why I do that. That's honestly why I do that. Because if I'm not doing this, I'm driving a forklift.
But Les,
I got no plan B.
Yes.
here's the ironic part about comedy, though. Every joke you tell is offensive to somebody because that's just what comedy is. So
And it's not funny. If
there's
it's
no
not
way
offensive.
to. There's no
That
way
is
around
true.
it.
That is true.
There's no way around
Can
it.
be. Can be.
Yeah.
And yes. All right.
That came to a comedy club in the first place, and it's 2012. I think everybody should have some sense of humor of different cultures and.
Well, what's the question?
That was a
He
statement.
forgot it. Okay.
Anyways, I was thinking about doing comedy like 2 years ago, and I just kind of gave up on it. How do you start it?
You come in on an open mic night with 3 minutes, you walk up on stage and you give it a shot and you never stop.
You
And
write
that-
your ass
and that-
off.
And whether no matter what art form you're getting into, that's exactly what you do.
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
just do
Same
it,
thing.
and you do it, and you do it. And when people tell you, like Dale and like me and Murv, we've all heard it. These guys have heard it. People have come up to you and go, "No, you ain't got it. You ain't got it, brother." And at times when you think you for sure got it, you're going to have people with authority in this business go, "You ain't got it." And you got to believe, "Yes, I do." And you just keep doing it until you can't do it anymore. And that's what we do. That's what all artists do. This is the last question that I ask. I may start asking this every week. I like this. I'll ask it to Murv first, then to Dale. I'm going to ask the same question to Sleeping Naked. They're going to play us a song out of here. Thanks a lot. and this is the question. Is there anything in your life right now, personally or globally, that really is disturbing to you? Disturbing, well, not to you, to them. That is disturbing, that is something that is upsetting to you, that you would love to write a brilliant comedy piece on to expose it, that you haven't?
Well, I mean, I have I have some things that that do bother me that I've written about. You know, I have a brother that's in prison. He's doing a 56-year sentence for selling drugs, and I've actually written about it. And every now and then I do talk about it. And it's sometimes you don't know if an audience is ready to hear about that kind of stuff. I just met my father, biological father, for the first time a year and a half ago. I've got some stuff I've written about that. I haven't been brave enough to really throw it out there yet. So yeah, absolutely.
How about you, Dale?
I've been wanting to write a bit about the true meaning of poontang.
I'm so looking forward to that expose.
No, I'm sorry, but you deserved it. I'm sorry.
After that great apology, right?
I'm eternally 12. I am eternally 12, and so I am constantly trying to write story. And I got several bits in my head that I just try to draw the picture. But as far as I don't watch the news because that jades the shit out of me.
Right.
And it just makes me angry because I think it's like what Bill Hicks said. There's one guy running both puppets, and it's all horse shit. And I don't think government really exists. I think it's some jackass. I guess that's what I would want to write about, is that the government's bullshit and it's made up and we're being conned. I guess that's it. I didn't realize that.
Sleeping Naked, is there a song that you would like to write about?
Well, everyone's given like a serious answer about government right now, but we came up with this idea of just writing a song about Justin Bieber, pretty much. I don't know. It's like long overdue. I mean, if you go on YouTube and you look at all these videos, like you'll be watching something about cooking and they'll compare it to Justin Bieber. Be like, Justin Bieber's way better than that shit. But we'd pretty much just want to maybe write something about that. And I mean, he gets compared to Michael Jackson, which is kind of crazy, but.
Oh.
Hello.
He wants to write a bit about greetings.
Penn and Teller. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being here tonight, and those of you who tuned in, thanks a lot for watching. And this will be archived on our YouTube channel if you guys, when you get home, would like to go back and check it out. And to leave tonight, Sleeping Naked is going to play us out, and they have a CD on iTunes, and Dale's DVD and Murv's DVD you can get on their websites, which are their names, which is very easy.
DaleJonesComic.com. If you go to DaleJones.com, it's a one-armed juggler out of St. Louis.
Oh, that's right.
I swear to God.
That's right. It is. It is. It is.
It is. And I've talked about that man all over the place, and he's very upset. He typed me a letter, and I guess he meant it because it took him a while.
Murv Seymour, Dale.
Give a hand. Woo!
That was good, bro. Thanks, man. All right, this one's called Straight
We're
Chillin'.
just gonna play one song.
All right, here we go. We're straight chillin'. Yeah.
I like this mic.
Huh? We wrote this when we were like, well, I wrote it when I was like 17. So this is when I had parents, and they used to piss me off because they made me do schoolwork and tennis and shit. Here we go.
she needed bread. Well, I'm not eating TikTok, cause I still got my TV. Well, I still got my Xbox, who wants to play with me? Yeah, cause I'll be straight chillin', I'm a badass villain when it comes to hanging out and being lazy. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than straight chillin' on the couch, fulfilling every single fantasy I've ever dreamed of. So come along and sing with me there. Well, I got a dream on dollar, believe it, I'm not bothered by the fact I don't even care. Well, I try to get a job, fast food was way too hard, plus I couldn't watch TV. My parents said I'm too old and that I've gotta go. Woo! There's nothing wrong with holding on to my remote control, cause I'll be straight chillin' on my badass feeling when it comes to hanging out and being lazy. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than straight chillin' on the couch, fulfilling every single fantasy I've ever dreamed of. So come along and sing with me, yeah. I'll be straight chillin', I'm a badass feeling when it comes to hanging out and being lazy. There's nowhere else I'd rather be there. Straight chillin' on the couch, feeling every single fantasy I've ever dreamed of. So come along and sing with me. Whoa, yeah. Gracias.